Hello everyone and welcome to a review on one of my favourite films, mid-90s, starring Atreus from God of War as most of you know him, Sonny Suljic. As it's one of my favourite films, I think it's extremely underrated. I want to talk about this. So I've seen this film about 6 or 7 times at this point. It's directed by Jonah Hill, interestingly enough. And I want to talk quite a bit about this film. Now, first of all, it's very indie film, not for everyone. It's basically about a bunch of skateboarders in 1990s LA, and we have a lot of references to the 90s, such as the NES, such as Street Fighter 2, a lot of the music by Nas and that. So Stevie meets a few of his friends, his new friends, Ray, someone called Fuck Shit, and Ruben, and Fourth Grade, but he doesn't really interact with them at first. Now, over time, we see the development of these characters as they start to do things like drugs, smoking, sexual things that 13-year-olds really shouldn't be doing. This is a fucked up movie in many ways, but it's important because it tells the reality of the situations, especially when it comes to being a man and them type of things. I would also like to say that there is a certain explosive anger. We see the development of Stevie. It's a very close character study in a very indie type setting. It's important because it shows there's like a scene where he hits his head, and from there it kind of shows his explosion of not really caring anymore. I think that it's a film that really builds on its own trauma, and that's what makes it good. Is that it doesn't use the trauma as an excuse to force itself into obscurity. Instead, it uses its trauma as a way to explain itself and its own actions, which is definitely good. Now, there has been some controversy surrounding this film, especially the use of the N-word by the white characters who've used it over about 100 times in the film. But it's like Jonah Hill said, it's the era, and it's the era that it portrays. Now, I want to talk about the alcohol use. There's, kids drinking alcohol, and it's really interesting. The cinematography is very subtle. There is definitely a certain era that will appeal to a certain audience, especially people who have been through similar experiences, because the film deals with things like pedophilia and drugs and alcohol and things. It's a very important film, and I think it's very good that it actually exists for people to watch. It's obviously a 10 out of 10, a 5-star amazing film that I'd highly recommend you go watch if you don't get triggered easily by certain topics. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Goodbye.